Today we are going to solve this rational equation. If we look at this rational equation, x plus 8 divided by x equals 6, we are going to eliminate the fraction by multiplying the whole equation by the least common denominator. So let's look at our least common denominator. Our least common denominator is what we need to multiply in order to cancel out any fractions we have. Now notice, if you have 8 over x, you'd have to multiply that by x over 1 in order to cancel out the x in the denominator. So your least common denominator in this case would be x. We don't have any other fractions, so then our least common denominator is only x. Once we find that, take your least common denominator and multiply it by your entire equation. So then we have x times x plus 8x equals 6. X times x is x squared. X times 8x, notice that your x is canceled, and so you're left with 8 equals x times 6 is 6x. Next, we have a quadratic, so we're going to solve the quadratic by setting everything equal to 0. So let's subtract 6x. That leaves us with x squared minus 6x plus 8 equals 0. To solve this quadratic, let's factor down the quadratic. X times x gives you x squared. 2 times 4 multiplies to 8 and adds up to 6. The 6 is negative, so we need a negative and a negative. Finally, we're going to look at our factor and determine our solution. 2 minus 2 is 0, so our first solution is 2. Four minus 4 is 0, so our second solution is 0. I'm sorry, our second solution is 4. Lastly, you have to see, are these extraneous roots? If either of these cause an illegal divide by 0 error, they're extraneous. Well, if we substitute in the 2 in our fraction, 8 halves, that's allowed. So x equals 2 is a solution. 8 fourths, that's allowed. So x equals 4 is also a solution. It's a great day to be a wolf at Ranch View High School.